Caffeine addiction is real. And why did the symptoms manifest like they do? Well, caffeine is our favorite drug. Speak for yourself, stupid. If we miss out on it, afflicts can be a real headache in more ways than one. I'm just going to throw this out there first and foremost. I hate coffee. I hate tea. I drink water, and that is it. I cannot stand caffeine. Okay, I hate the smell of coffee brewing. I hate the smell of tea brewing. Okay, I'm sure that there's probably some tea out there. Oh, I'm sure you like the smell of peppermint tea brewing. Yeah, that's all very nice, and whatever the hell that's out there. Okay, different herbs that are boiling. That's nice. I'm sure Glade probably has a wonderful knockoff scent of it. You can go ahead and accomplish that, but the smell of some of that disgusting Colombian swamp water makes my blood boil like very few other things. Regardless, this isn't about me. This is about what happens when you deprive yourself and you try to wean yourself off of caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant, you don't say. It quickly enters the brain and blocks the adrenosine receptors that are responsible for dulling brain activity. By blocking the dulling of our brain, we feel a sense of invigoration, focus, and subtle euphoria. These feelings can also enhance our performance of certain focused tasks like driving, staying awake through the whole lecture. That's why those college kids, they show up with their Starbucks latte and whatever nonsense. This is an upside of caffeine. The downside is how we feel when we're not getting our usual dose, because the anticipated highs of brain activity after our cup, the lows without it seem longer and deeper. The other problem is that caffeine is addictive, right? To a certain extent. You can debate that, but I would tend to agree. Anything that you grow a dependence on, anything that becomes routinized in your life, can be categorized as an addiction. Clinically so, I'd hear it out on that. But for the sake of the video, caffeine's addictive. Okay. When we aren't getting what we're used to, we feel tired, inattentive, irritable, and moody. This is known as withdrawal. You can let it go that way, okay? Or many times I might get a headache, but then I don't need to act a fool about it because it's ultimately my responsibility to keep myself healthy and in good shape. But whatever, okay? Many people regularly drink caffeinated beverages just to avoid feeling this way. Or maybe you don't even know that you're drinking caffeine because some people don't do the cursory investigation into all they consume, so... by far the most common symptom of caffeine withdrawal is headaches. It's typically mild and short-lived, usually only lasting a day or two. Oh my gosh, that's just far too much. You need to go through a drive-through and spend how much money per day on caffeine? It sometimes gets to be astronomical, and as a cheap dude, I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. Usually feel a bit like a tense band wrapped across your hand and are sometimes called tension type headaches as a result. However, caffeine withdrawal can also trigger a full-on migraine in some sufferers. Sure, but that's all self-reporting, and sometimes people exaggerate what pain they're exhibiting, but whatever. When we get headaches from withdrawal, as in many other cases, is mostly because our face and our head is the most active as well as the most sensitive part of our body. For our brain to accurately know what's happening, the signal it receives and the senses have to be spot on. Any distortion of the signal and the message can become lost in translation or even result in the wrong message being received. One theory for headaches is our fuzzy brain misinterprets some of the innocuous signals it gets from our head and calls them a headache. Some level of caffeine withdrawal would be experienced by half of all regular tea or coffee drinkers if the regular drug supply would be completely cut off. The more we drink and the more regularly we drink caffeine, the more likely we'd experience withdrawal symptoms if we were to go without it. However, withdrawal can happen and people usually drink just a single cup every day when they forego caffeine. Equally, only 3 days of continuous coffee drinking is enough to make you feel bad when the coffee runs out. Dun dun dun. Caffeine withdrawal only occurs with abstinence. Oh my gosh. Got a little belt on your little cup and saucer. It's terrible. Small amounts of caffeine, just a quarter cup, will keep the headaches at bay. Even if the espresso's like a brand of coffee machine is broken and you have to have a less caffeinated latte, you won't go into withdrawal. Oh, so you can taper off by using, I don't know, more sugary substitutes. Great. But if you're going to go cold turkey, withdrawal headaches typically peak a day or two after removing all caffeine from the menu. Withdrawal does not happen within a few hours the last cup, despite the protestations of the habitual coffee drinker. Of course, if withdrawal is really the problem, the remedy is simple. Any headache caused by lack of caffeine can rapidly and often completely relieved within 30 minutes to an hour of drinking a cup of tea or coffee. Yeah, just like an alcoholic's remedy of curing a hangover. Just always stay drunk. Some of the fix and the anticipation of it. In fact, some of that is a fix and an anticipation of it. Australian researchers have found giving someone experiencing caffeine withdrawal a decaf, but telling them it's caffeinated is enough to make them feel better. The placebo effect. Of course, this trick won't work if you don't buy the coffee yourself. Oh, if you buy it yourself, yeah, no doubt. Or you just, kind of switch it up. If you don't know about it, that's what it is, okay? And again, that's what predicates the success of the placebo effect. I don't know why this is shocking or anything. Surprisingly, though, caffeine also has some painkiller properties. Yep, simple painkillers, such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory aspirin or paracetamol. Cool. Can be effective when formulated with some caffeine. Interesting. More than 90% of adults drink coffee or tea. Yeah, they suck, and that's why the whitening toothpaste and all of those cheap Crest and Colgate teeth whitening industries are booming in the West, rousing us from our slumber and providing more revitalizing energy to do the things that need to be done. It's not hard to imagine the headaches without it. Or kneecapping an industry that provides nearly every street corner a drive-through lane. I couldn't imagine, specifically in Grand Prairie, what would happen if overnight coffee was just eradicated. There are how many Tim Hortons in town? How many Starbucks and local coffee shops there are? If all of a sudden all of that nonsense was just gone, there would also be other sugar withdrawals as well, because let's be fair, how much coffee is in this weak blend with a double shot? Or your lattes, they're your little goofy mixed drinks. Oh yes, it's all about coffee, right? No, you just need your little sugar hit, and that's what's more important at the end of the day now, isn't it? So with all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Wish you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.